All right, what's up, guys? Just a quick 2024 update because I'm not super active on YouTube anymore. But nonetheless, I know some guys have been following me for the last few years, so they always appreciate an update. But I just want to show you kind of what's going on in this wetland at home, close to home at least, where I did a little project with a water control structures. Again, I got this huge wetland complex out here, which attaches to my place, and out there in the water, you can see the top of the T-posts. That's my inlet pipe. Okay. And if we go over here, there used to be a ditch running right on the other side of this oak tree. So this was all open and draining before. And the light's kind of messed up, but there's the ditch. Okay, so this used to be wide open. I plugged it with the water control structure. I mean, there's got to be at least 20 feet of material, or another way to put this is, if this is kind of like a dam right here, I mean, it's at least 20 feet. And what I came back here to discover, which is kind of a bummer, is the water is working its way around this water control structure and the pipe that I got coming through here. It's hard to tell precisely, but way over here you can see, look at this, I got a hole coming out of the earth, and on this side it's kind of down here, I got water coming through. And my best guess is, at least on this side, is where the ditch was originally. I'm thinking that maybe the water kind of found where the very outside edge of the ditch was, and it's following it down. Over here it's a little bit tougher to tell because this is pretty far to the left. The ditch was over here and the water's coming out down here. You know, it's impossible to know what's going on underground. But anyway, so this thing is, you can see the ditch is flowing, which means water's coming out of my wetland, which I don't want. The whole purpose is I'm trying to control it off of this water control structure, so it's kind of a bummer. But what I just want to emphasize, I've installed a half a dozen of these things, and I think 4 of the 6 that I've placed have ultimately leaked or washed out, similar to what we're seeing here, despite me taking great efforts to make sure these things won't leak. I mean, I've used double anti-seep collars on both sides. I think on this one I used at least a dozen, maybe 16 bags of concrete that I poured all around in here. I also even used a couple tractor buckets full of class 5 compactable material. I tamped this, and nonetheless, after all that, I still developed a leak. This has been installed, I think, for, I can't remember, I'll have to look back. It's 2 or 3 years. It held, but now it's finally leaking. We've had a ton of rain, so there's obviously more water pressure on this thing. But it just goes to show you the power of nature and how difficult it is to actually control water. Again, just through, I mean, firsthand experience, it's really, really difficult. So if you're a first timer, you're going to install one of these things, you can't take enough precautions. And even if you do, you know, even if you really do everything you possibly can, there's still a fair shot that these things are ultimately going to leak on you, which sucks because, you know, ultimately I mean, this is draining pretty slowly. This is a huge area back here. I mean, it would take weeks for this thing to drain down. But if I'm going to remedy this, I'm going to have to get back here with equipment and dig down and obviously try to retamp wherever the water's coming through, try to recompact it. So it's tough, but hey, I just wanted to share with you kind of what some of my experience. Hope it's helpful to somebody else. Thanks for watching.